have to marry someone else, and only when that marriage ends in a divorce, only then can you remarry her. The Messenger of Allah made it plain and clear that that marriage cannot be paper marriage. It must be a real marriage. You must have a consummation of the marriage. If you will permit me to use the beautiful words of the Messenger of Allah, there is nothing shameful in quoting a hadith. He said that the man must taste her honey. Those were his words. So the marriage has to be consummated. Only then, if a divorce takes place, can she return to her husband and a new marriage. When a divorce takes place, as I said, whatever property she has, she takes with her. Whatever property he has, he keeps with him. If he had given to her anything during the marriage as a gift, it is hers to take with her. But she has no claim over his property when a divorce takes place. And he has no claim over her property when a divorce takes place. Oh, but what about the lady I gave a drop to this morning? She needed a drop. I say, come sit down. She's my next door neighbor. Where are you going? Going to the court. Divorce. Her husband had about 5-6 properties. She said, I'm not claiming anything on those properties. She said, the house in which I was living with him, I spent a lot of my own money on that house. And when the divorce took place, the man would not give me back what I spent, would not give me anything. I don't like to go to the court, but I'm forced to go to the court. If the man had made a settlement with me, I would have been happy. If the man had even given me $30,000, I would have been happy, she said. But he gave me nothing. So she went to the court. The mistake she made is that if as a wife you are spending of your wealth in the marriage, then it has to be on the basis of an agreement. That he must know that what you are spending is a gift, you don't need it back, you don't want it back. Or he must know that what you're doing is you're giving him a loan which must be repaid. Because this is a business transaction. You don't say, well, I was his wife for 15, 20 years, man, I cook, I wash, I scrub pot, I clean house. So now a divorce taking place, half for you, half for me. When that kind of law is established, when a divorce takes place, is half-half, woman will be killed. Many women who seek a divorce go end up dead because the husband will say, this is unjust, that I must give half of my wealth to her because she was my wife. And she will take me to a court and the court will give her half. And so she ends up dead. That's not Islam. One final problematic case now. What do we do about women who want to be married but cannot get husbands? The Messenger of Allah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam had a slave. She belonged to his mother Amina. And she lived with the Prophet ﷺ all his life until he got married. And when he was married to Khadija, radiallahu ta'ala anha, at that time he set her free. And he arranged for her marriage in a tribe outside of Makkah. And out of that marriage was born his son. And the boy's name was Ayman. And so she became known as Ayman Barakah. Sometime after, her husband died. And when her husband died, she came back to Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. And when she came back to him, he said, "This is the last member of my family now left in the world." That slave woman, he considered to be a member of his family. So now she's living in his household. She's a single woman without a husband. How does the Messenger of Allah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, how does he deal with a single woman in the Jama'ah? Does he just leave her there to live as a single woman? The loneliness of being a single woman? No one to maintain you? No one to guard and protect you? No one to keep you company? What does the Messenger of Allah do? What should we do? The Messenger of Allah spoke to his companions, standing around him in a circle. And he asked, who will marry her? Because there's a command in the Quran, marry the single woman amongst you. It's a command. Who will marry her? Zayd bin Haritha, adopted son of the Prophet, is a much younger man. He said, I'll marry her. He didn't take that decision because he fallen in love with her. He didn't take that decision because he was attracted to her. He didn't take that decision because he wanted her. No, he took that decision because the Messenger of Allah said, who will marry her? Somebody has to marry her. Okay, I will do it. And so I'm marrying her for Allah's sake. That's possible. And out of that marriage was born, what was his name? What was his name? Nobody attended my Sirah class? Or you forgotten? Usama. And so Usama used to be known as the grandson of the Prophet ﷺ. From this incident we know we've got a message, powerful message, that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam placed upon the Jama'ah an obligation to ensure that single women are married if they would like to be married. If a woman says, no, I have no interest in marriage, then the Jama'ah has no obligation. But if there are women who want to be married, like a girl who wrote to me in 1995, that's 10 years ago, she wrote to me in the United States, Brother Imran, can you help me? I want to be married. Yes. 10 years of fast, I've not been able to find a husband for her. And yet I tell you, seldom have I found someone with more purity of a heart and purity of character, living in poverty.